Hey guys, welcome to the AoStation Podcast, episode 17. Today is a special episode. I know I say that every time, but I'm serious this one. This is a special episode because it's the first episode that you can get on the MP3 format. It's the first episode that's actually going to be a podcast rather than a video news show. We're still going to keep doing these videos and put them on YouTube as well as my Twitch channel, but we're also going to be releasing the MP3 format because I noticed that when I used to watch shows like my show, I really preferred the MP3 format. I would usually just put the video up in the background and do something while listening to it anyway, so I decided to release it on MP3. It should be up as soon as possible, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. But we have some more AoStation updates before we go on to the news. First of all, as you guys can see, bam, there we go. We have a new video format. I thought the first iteration of the show is actually a little bit messy, so we decided to clean it up a little bit. And I wanted to show you guys my website, AoStation.com. We talk about stuff. We post relevant content. I write articles. Many other things. If you want to be involved with the AoStation, just hit me up on Twitter at Panamanana or on Twitter at the AoStation. Another thing I wanted to point out is that whenever I say we, I mean me, because the AoStation is basically just me. I have a couple friends that help me out here and there, but I run the site, I do all the videos, I do all the production. I'm usually the only one on the show anyway, so when I say we, I mean I. But it's kind of, it's wishful thinking that hopefully some other people will jump on the bandwagon. But, as I was saying, I'm starting up a new video series called HoN Escaping the 1500 Bracket, because I used to be in the 1700 bracket in Heroes of New Earth, but after like 4 months of not playing, and after they didn't reset your MMR, but they lowered your MMR, they might have actually reset, I don't remember, but I ended up going back and I had 1500 MMR instead of 1700, so I'm trying to escape the 1500 MMR bracket, and I decided that I should stream all my games and upload them to YouTube. So I'm not going to upload every single game. I'm only going to upload the good ones. Not necessarily the ones I win, but the fun ones, the ones that are entertaining to watch. I'm not just going to upload 2,000 videos of me doing nothing and losing. So the first episode is up, and I just so happen to win. Spoilers, but that's because I picked Nomad. And I'm not a very good player. I'm very knowledgeable, but I can't really put that knowledge into the game. I don't have the Twitch skills, although I know what is appropriate to do in every situation. I sometimes get tunnel vision, etc., etc. All those are excuses, but I hope you guys enjoy regardless. I stream that on this Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/theaostation. You can find pretty much everything I do there, or on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/theaostation. But on that note, let's go over to the news for this week. We actually, we have, oh, I forgot. We do have another piece of news. I finally got in contact with S2 Games. I had already been in contact with them originally for YouTube copyright content, like to ask them for permission to use their game footage and other art assets on my channel. And my dogs decided to bark. Excuse that. But I didn't actually specify about commercial use. And YouTube is kind of a stickler about that, so I went back to S2 Games and I said, hey, I know you guys already gave me permission, but YouTube is specifically asking for commercial permission to use your intellectual properties. And they came back to me and they said, go for it. So that's just a little bit of AoStation update. I can now use in-game footage, which is why I'm now doing the HoN Escaping the 1500 Bracket video series. So on that note, let's touch on Dota 2 real quick. As is per usual for every single episode, there really isn't that much Dota 2 news. If you're really into Dota 2 and you want the very specific stuff, go over to Dota 2 Cinema. It's a YouTube channel as well as a website. They do wonderful Dota 2 coverage. If you want only Dota 2 coverage and you want really in-depth stuff, check them out. I'm not really here for the super in-depth. I'm kind of just a news show. So. And besides, not much actually happens in the Dota 2 beta. They release a hero, and then they bug fix. And I'm not very interested in bug fixes. I'm more interested in balance patches and changing things around and things that affect the game overall, not just bug fixes. So the thing that came out in Dota 2 recently is Phantom Dancer. Not Phantom Dancer, Phantom Lancer. Excuse me. Now I feel like a scrub. I know that hero. Trust me, I do. He's basically a carry slash ganker slash pusher. He's based around the idea of creating illusions, and all of his spells deal with creating illusions in one way or another. He's a very interesting hero, but he's only in Dota. So if you want to play him, you can't go to Heroes of the North or League of Legends to find him. You have to play either Dota or Dota 2. He's a very fun hero. I hope you guys enjoy him a lot. But other than that, there really isn't that much Dota 2 news. That being said, there also isn't that much LoL news either. The problem with League of Legends is that in PAX East they released 2 heroes, and they didn't actually release them, they simply revealed them. So now it's been 4 weeks or so, and they're just getting to the second hero, by just getting to release the second hero. So there really isn't that much to talk about that we haven't already talked about. We've already covered Varus, the Arrow of Redemption, and we've already covered Hakarim, and we've already covered all those things. So there really isn't that much to talk about in League of Legends, unfortunately. So it's gonna be kind of an S2 Games biased week today. I don't really apologize because I like Heroes of the North, so there's not really much to apologize for. So let's dive right into the Heroes of the North news. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the HoN Global Challenge, which just came out recently. It's basically a celebration of the HoNiversary, which is the 2 years going for Heroes of the North. And what happens is, from May 7th to May 11th, which is today to next Friday, if you play a game of Heroes of the North, you have a chance of winning one of 3 different things. And what happens is, the more people that play during that week, a matchmaking game of Heroes of the North, the more people you get, the better your chances. Once 300,000 people play, once 300,000 games have been played within the week, everyone who has played a game gets a Kongor courier. What that is basically an alt avatar for your courier, to make it look like Kongor, I'm guessing. If they get 700,000 plays or matches, everyone that has played during that week will get a Kongor taunt, which is an alternate taunt for your taunt button. I don't know how that's going to work if you haven't already purchased taunt, but maybe it just waits in the wings until you buy taunt, or I don't know. But we should definitely go in and play so we can all get that. And then the ultimate prize is, after 1,100,000 games have been played, everyone who has played that week gets a Steampunk Electrician alt avatar, which is an unreleased alt avatar for Electrician, if you haven't guessed that. So basically, go play Heroes of the North. It's free to play. You have really no reason not to play it. It's very familiar, very similar to Dota. So if you're familiar with Dota, you'll fit right in. It's not necessarily familiar to League of Legends, but if you're really good at League of Legends, you should not have a problem in Heroes of the North. You should just check it out. Check it out, because they deserve it, man. It's a really good game. It's a really fun game. As long as you have friends, it's crazy entertaining. And I want to get that all avatar. So we're all in this together. There is also more news coming out. They're doing a thing called the Mid Wars, which is I believe I have it here. I feel like I haven't prepared for the show. Excuse me. Mid Wars. Oh, okay. It's talked about there. Oh well, Mid Wars. I believe it's here. Is it here? They don't talk about it? Whatever. I'll explain it to you guys anyway. What Mid Wars is a new mode for Heroes of the North. It's not necessarily new, but it's new for Heroes of the North. It's based off of an old mode in Dota called All Mid, I believe. Basically what it does is it gets rid of the top and bottom lane and simply focuses the entire game around the middle lane. And I believe it's a 5v5 match, and there's a boss, kind of like Kongor, except it's the one from Watchtower. I think it's Transmusenstein or whatever. He's the big Frankenstein monster. I also believe that there's no gold on death, unless that might just be, I don't know. I don't know if that's a specific function of the mode or whether or not the people that I saw playing were playing in casual mode, but it's interesting nonetheless. It's kind of like the forest map, but it's a little bit smaller, and there's obviously no top or bottom lane. So guys, if you really want to have like a more casual version of Heroes of the North, more fun, less serious, Mid Wars seems to be the game for you. I do not advise playing casual mode, so maybe maybe Mid Wars is a better alternative to that. But It seems to be a very casual, very friendly, very fun mode, rather than a super serial tournament mode like the normal map is. So that's very interesting. Also, this weekend they had a tournament between Diva and Dog Kaiser, who are two main, fat cats at S2 Games. I believe Diva is the executive producer, and Dog Kaiser is like the leader of Balance or whatever. But they had a fight. They were both coaches on their respective teams, and they fought it out in mid-wars to see who would win. And part of that was if you bet on one team or the other, and you bet for the winning team, you got bonus gold in game. And unfortunately, I voted for Dog Kaiser, so I didn't get the extra gold. Diva did end up winning, and everyone who voted for Diva got extra gold coins. I believe it's gold coins, might have been silver coins, whatever. But it was an interesting stream nonetheless. It was streamed on, I believe, on HoNcast. You guys should go check that out. If you guys like Heroes of Newerth and you want to get into the competitive scene, check out HoNcast. It's the exclusive Heroes of Newerth, I guess, competitive scene. They stream pretty much every Heroes of Newerth tournament, and they work tightly with S2 Games to get the best info possible. They're very professional. I enjoy their streams a lot, so go check them out. I want to also let you guys know I'm not paid by S2 Games whatsoever. I do not get a coin from S2 Games at all. I just happen to like the game, and there's a lot of news. I think they're really taking advantage of the fact that League of Legends doesn't have any news and Dota 2 doesn't have any news, because they've just been coming out with more and more content every week, and League of Legends is still releasing like art spotlights for Varus, and Dota 2 is releasing Hero. I mean, Dota 2 is, yeah, this is an entirely new argument, but basically all the other games aren't doing all that much, and Heroes of Newerth is releasing a bunch of updates, so there's a lot to talk about. On that note, here are the free-to-play roster, or the free-to-play roster. For those listening to the MP3 version of the show, we have, I'm not going to go through every single one, but some of the spotlight ones I would point out would be Deadwood, Ophelia. If you're good at Ophelia, she's a good pickup, but if you're not good at Ophelia, she's a totally different hero. Valkyrie and Sandwraith. You're going to see a lot of Sandwraith carries, as well as Valkyrie mids. That's basically it. It's very int-heavy, but that's per usual when it comes to the free roster. There is also a new all-avatar released for Valkyrie, which is the Cyber Valkyrie. It's also male, by the way. Not that I think robots have any genitalia, but its voice is male, so it's an interesting, kind of gender swap for the Valkyrie hero. It also looks very cool. So if you like Valkyrie, check that out. They apparently tweaked the music for Heroes of Newerth, reducing the file size significantly. And they changed the Energizer, reducing the cooldown from 45 to 35 seconds. I think that's an interesting change, because Energizer has been kind of like just not an unused item, because it is actually used sometimes, but it's one of those items that was released by S2 Games that isn't in Dota that no one really pays too much attention to. It's built into, or one of the components is the Soul Scream ring, excuse me. And I believe that's the only thing the Soul Scream ring builds into. So if you get the early Soul Scream ring and you don't pick up Phase Boots, Energizer is possibly a good pickup for you. But it's such a niche item that it's just not seen that often. I don't know if this is necessarily a good thing that they're reducing the cooldown. I mean, it nowhere matches the cooldown for Phase Boots, so it's still going to be trumped by Phase Boots. If you need that instant movement speed and unit walking, you're going to be going for Phase Boots more than you're going to be going for Energizer, but if you're a hero that really relies on Steam Boots rather than Phase Boots, Energizer might be a good pickup. Let's go over to the hero balance. The little change to Arachna. Spider Sting, her ultimate. The spider no longer dies with the owner. That's interesting, but it doesn't actually affect that much. It just means that if you ult someone and they're about to die, you dying won't affect that much at all. Whereas it used to be, if you died, the spider died, so you would be denied that kill. And I think I like it better this way. It makes more sense, because your spider and you are different entities completely. But then again, you look at someone like Wild Soul. If Wild Soul dies, Bobo dies, so I think it's gonna help out Arachna a little bit, but not too much. And then you have the Drunken Master. They changed a little bit about his drink and his stagger. Drink, the total drunk charges gains is now being rebalanced from 4, 6, 8, 10, which is 4 at level 1, 6 at level 2, 8 at level 3, you know how that goes, to 3, 6, 9, 12. So it's going to be better late and worse early. It's going to be worse at level 1, but better at level 3 and 4. And they also make it so that you gain charges for drink every 0.65 seconds rather than every second. So instead of having to, you'll effectively gain charges for drink faster. And they're changing Stagger's mana cost. They're reducing it from 40, 50, 60, 70 to 45, 50, 55, 60. Basically, it makes it increases the mana cost for level 1, but decreases it for the higher levels 3 and 4. This is an interesting change over on Magebane. They're completely removing the cast speed reduction passive on his Master of the Mantra passive, which is interesting because it's basically Pugna's ward. It deals damage based on the mana it deals damage to people within the AoE based on the mana that it takes them to cast spells. If they cast a spell, it deals damage to them based on the mana that it takes to cast their spell. And then they tacked on the cast speed reduction passive to it, and I just thought that was a little weird. I don't necessarily think this is a big balance change as much as it's just making the hero cleaner and just making them look better. I mean, it's a tacked on passive that doesn't necessarily need to be there, although it has its benefits, I guess. But cast speed is one of those things that just you don't notice all that much until you have an incredible amount of it. And like, if you're Pyromancer and you have a ton of stacks of Fervor, you're gonna notice your cast speed up rather than like another hero in Magebane's aura. You wouldn't really notice that. Here's an interesting change to Master of Arms. They're changing his weapon enhancement. His weapon, if you're not familiar, his weapon enhancement is a passive that he gets at level 1. So he has 5 levels of it effectively, but he gets 1 at level 1. And it means he can switch weapons, which changes all of his skills and changes the way that he attacks. When he has his blue gun, it's a basic attack, kind of slow, basic range, all that stuff. When he has his red attack, he deals less damage but shoots more often. But while in his red form, he has a set amount of ammo. So once you get the correct items, the way you want to play Master of Arms is you want to use his red gun, until you're out of ammo, and then you switch to his blue gun. That's for your attacks. You obviously want to be switching between them for using these specific skills. But so what they did to that passive is the repeater damage reduction. They changed it from 50% at all levels to 20, 30, 40, and 50. Basically, what that means is your repeater will be doing more damage at 20, 30, 40. At level 1, 2, and 3. But that also means that you won't be getting the range bonus passive from leveling it up. When you level up, weapon enhancement increases your attack range. So what you'll be doing is you'll be choosing between, do you want to be dealing more damage with your red gun, or do you want to have more range? So I love that about Dota and HoN abilities. Some spells, leveling them up is a good thing, sometimes it's not a good thing. And I like it when there's that duality to those spells, because then there's heroes like Hammerstorm, where you never want to level his cleave, which is kind of boring and stupid, and but I like abilities like this where it's a double-edged sword where you can choose to level it or not level it and have different bonuses from those two things. So I'm glad that they did that. I don't really know how much it'll affect it, because basically when I play Master of Arms, I use my blue gun for the until I get a lot of good items. But that's just preference. I'm not a Master of Arms, so I don't really know. They're also changing Soul Stealer around a little bit. They're changing his judgment radius. They're making it, instead of changing it per level, it's just going to be 50 at all levels, and the damage is being increased, and the heal is being increased. They're also changing it so that in Human Nature, which is his passive that gives him mana every time he kills something, it doubles the mana return for hero kills. And Withering Presence will properly kill targets that have low health. That's a bug fix. That's not really a balance patch, I don't believe. And that's pretty much it for Heroes of New Earth balance patch this week. We can go over to the hero teaser. They released a hero teaser for the new Heroes of New Earth hero called Riftwalker. And I'm going to read to you her little description right here. She's the manipulator of forbidden arts. She reaches into the realms of the ancient evils. She seeks to discover more secrets than that the Legion has forgotten, lest the elder gods awaken. Tapping into the darkness, she draws forth unholy power to aid the hordes of her liege. Do not let her pleasant demeanor fool you. The Riftwalker fears nothing, and will serve only those who will aid her mad quest for power. You know, she doesn't really look that evil. She looks kind of nice. Her staff looks evil, but whatever. Basically, she deals with rifts in time and space. And here's another description. Riftwalker is a ranged intelligence hero that can manipulate chaotic rift energies with explosive results. And here you go. You can see her skill icons. Apologies to those listening to the MP3 format. Her first ability is going to be called Cascade Event. Her second ability is going to be called Shared Existence. Her third ability is going to be called Rift Burn. And here's her fourth ability is going to be called Wormhole. And unfortunately, considering that this show is released on Monday, the spotlight for her won't come out until like Tuesday, Wednesday. So we're going to have to wait until next week to actually talk about her abilities, but I will definitely link on our website, AoStation.com, when the spotlight is actually released. She looks like an interesting hero. I'm just, you know, this is like a shot in the dark, but I really hope that Wormhole is Kraken's old ultimate. I love that ultimate, and I really wish they would bring it back, but unfortunately they removed it. So I hope they can bring it back in one way or another. I'm interested to see what this girl has got to offer, but we will see. This is nothing more than speculation at this point. And that's pretty much it, guys. There's no viewer questions for this week because we have no viewers, but I'm sure that'll change soon enough. This is my website, AoStation.com. You can check me out on this Twitter page, this Twitch page, excuse me, twitch.com/theAOSstation. You can also check it out on my YouTube at youtube.com/theAOSstation. You can follow me on Twitter at Panmanana and at theAOSstation for any updates and videos and stuff. If you guys want to play with me in Heroes of North, League of Legends, Dota 2, or anything really, you can hit me up on Twitter, and I would be totally willing to do that. What else do I have to say? Oh, I wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to my friend 7-Bit Brian. He's releasing a website called 7bitworld.com. If you guys want to go check him out, he does stuff about video games. He's really trying to get into this whole streaming and video content stuff, so support him as much as possible. Check out his website, join his forum, etc., etc. Just here to spread the love. There you go, guys. That's my Twitch page. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I will see you guys next week, Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 p.m. Pacific, and 1 p.m. if you live in Sweden. Bye. Have a nice week, guys.